What's good, everybody?
What up, though? What up? What up? What up?
We're coming back for a very special edition joint this time around, man.
Yeah.
As we've been telling y'all and alluding to, the NBA season is officially upon us.
It is here. It is here. For all you NBA heads, no more waiting.
No more. We do love our NFL bets around here, but I'm not going to lie. Those 2 shaky weeks got me ready to switch sports a little bit. So I, for one, am very happy to see the NBA. And we wanted to talk to y'all, man, about just the NBA season, man. I'm Rip16.
I'm Todd the Jet, man. If you don't know by now, you better know.
You better know real fast.
Yeah, because we here.
So what are you, just talking about the NBA season in general, it's been an interesting off season for the NBA. A lot of moves, a lot of additions, big moves, big additions to teams. So,
man, there's so much to talk about, man. Obviously, LeBron in another year, 21? 21st year, 21st year.
Can you do something for me?
I mean, and he's playing like he's in his 10th. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is still playing at a super high level. Amongst these kids in the league right now.
He's averaging what, 25?
26 or something like that.
Averaging that high in his 20th season is.
Haven't seen it. And I'm gonna just go ahead and set the record straight because I know there's a lot of LeBron haters and things like that out there. I used to be one of them. Okay? And I'm gonna keep it a buck. Y'all know me. I used to be one of them. I'm a big time Kobe guy. But we have to give LeBron the respect that he deserves. Without LeBron, the league will miss LeBron when he's gone.
Oh, man.
The league will miss LeBron when he's gone. He's been highly unappreciated by the ops. But the real ones know, the real basketball heads, they really understand and know what LeBron's bring to the table. And for him to be playing in his 21st season at this level, it says a lot about who this guy is.
Yeah.
People talking about the GOAT Michael Jordan, but the dude retired like 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, let's put it in perspective when it comes to that. But this is not about that. This is about this year, this season. So many things to touch on. We got Chris Paul going up to Golden State. Let's talk about that first. So what do you feel about that? How's that going to shake out?
I think it helps Steph Curry to just play off of the ball even more. They do like to run a lot off of off-ball screens and stuff like that. I've seen a couple preseason game highlights and stuff where, it looks like Chris Paul can essentially dribble down court and kind of point.
Yeah.
And, run an off-ball screen, Steph and Clay. It's hard to guard that. So I think we see a lot of that. I think we see, the offense that the Warriors have been running. They've been running a Spurs-esque offense with phenomenal shooting, and then they just got another ball distributor. So, I mean, I look for them to run that all season until somebody stops it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the addition. Obviously, it gives Golden State's second unit, a little bit of juice. You know what I'm saying? They don't lose any steam. You don't necessarily have to have Steph Curry on the court all the time. Especially when you have Chris Paul, which is he's a phenomenal facilitator of the basketball.
We're going to see what the young guys do on the bench and some of those backup guys as far as the scoring load goes. Because, I mean, I do think losing Jordan Poole takes the bench production down some. So, that is a little bit of question on that as to how well that's going to go. But they still have their core. They still got Stephen Clay. They still got Draymond to bring, the heart to the team.
Oldest team in the league.
Might even punch somebody in the throat.
Yeah.
You still got to have that. So, I mean, you got those guys. Another one.
But I'm saying, now, let's go into how it affects Phoenix now, right? Now, Chris Paul.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Chris Paul leaves Phoenix, right? The center, what the fuck his name is?
Nurkic.
No.
Oh, DeAndre Ayton.
Ayton's gone now, right? So how does that, how does that dynamic look with Booker and Kevin Durant, and now Bradley Beal down there in Phoenix without Chris Paul?
Well, I definitely think at the beginning of the season, it seems like something's going on with Bradley Beal, so he's probably not going to play in the opener. But Bradley Beal being a very solid scorer, bro. I mean, he's a hooper. Yeah. So, that definitely alleviates the pressure because Kevin Durant has been known to miss some games over the past few seasons. But Devin Booker can light it up, and Bradley Beal can score, bro. He can carry a team too. So, I think having him gives you a definite boost on the scoring output that you didn't have with Chris Paul. Chris Paul had the ball distribution, but he didn't necessarily have, that scorer's mentality and the scoring ability on a consistent nightly basis to give you the output that you can get out of Bradley Beal.
You essentially got 3 closers now.
Yeah, and I like it betting wise because right now they got Bradley Beal kind of low in terms of points. So we're gonna see how he does in his first few games. Early in the season, as far as bets go, I'm gonna try to kind of fill it out and see how people are playing, see where they flowing the ball, see which teams figuring out, see which teams got it together already. So, but I do like Phoenix chances of doing something heavy in the West.
Yeah. Speaking of the West, let's talk about the Lakers. Let's talk about LeBron. Let's talk about Austin Reeves. Let's talk about this team now. What do we see? What do we see out of the Lakers this season?
I like the addition of Christian Wood. He got a lot of length. Pause. Word to Mason Cam. He can stretch the floor. He can play some defense. He can get you some rebounds. He's a solid all-around player, tall guy that can come in the game. Even in the absence of Anthony Davis, I think that does help them quite a bit. D'Lo is still on the squad. We're gonna see how D'Lo plays. I heard him mention that he wants to be like a Derek White for the team from Boston. He wants to kind of have that impact on the game. So we're gonna see. They also got Gabe Vincent still coming off the bench. They got Austin Reeves, who I'm thinking that with his signing, his extension, and all that, well, a new contract, he's probably looking like your third scorer that you want, but behind LeBron and AD. So we're gonna see if he steps up to the plate. I mean, he's been trending upward for sure. Playing in the Olympics, that gives him some more practice, some more room around some other young stars and whatnot. So,
where do you see the Lakers kind of finishing up in the West? I mean, because the West, we all know, is pretty loaded with teams. Man, it's a slaughter fest out there every night in the West. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a rough season all these games going to count.
We got we got in-season tournaments this year. We got they put in a new policy where they can't rest them for too many games.
Shout out to Kawhi.
Shout out to Kawhi. Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. As far as where they land, honestly, they probably end up, if they're clicking and they're playing consistent and healthy, I think they could be maybe a top 5 team in the West.
5-6 seed.
5 or 6, maybe 4 or 5. I think a lot of it boils down to health, but I mean, we still can't forget about the Kings.
Yep.
Didn't make any huge acquisitions over the summer, but they did come up as a 3rd seed last season. So let's not forget about them. Of course, the Warriors.
The
Nuggets, of course, the defending champions. Can't forget about them just because they didn't, get any huge acquisitions, but they are the defending champs. So I think they fall in line somewhere in there. I don't know about the Mavs and Kyrie, and
and Luka.
I don't know where they fall in that equation. So I don't know if they take a step up or a step back. So it's kind of hard for me to say where they'll land, but I do think, they're still a playoff squad for sure.
What about Memphis?
Memphis.
Obviously, Ja suspended for a few games. But, you know.
They're going to have Ja Wick back this season.
Yeah.
So, hey, he going to come out. And I think, hopefully, you know, with all the negative attention he received and having the summer off, this is a time where he can come back and just hoop, you know, and really just show that he is who he is. I do like Derrick Rose being added to Memphis Grizzlies as kind of a mentor, and also still a solid, decent backup who you can put into the game. At one point in time, Derrick Rose was freakishly athletic.
Yeah.
Which you can make the argument that he was Ja Morant before Ja Morant. So
explosive, all that. Yeah.
Very explosive. Rookie of the year, you know, he was an MVP at one point. I think, you know, Derrick Rose can lend a lot of mentorship and guidance to Ja Morant. So I do like the Memphis Grizzlies for making that move to, you know, aid their star and help them. So Memphis, I think they'll be back in there ultimately.
Now let's
and Jaren Jackson.
Let's chat about
reigning defensive.
Let's chat about New Orleans, okay, the Pelicans and Zion. What's the situation with this dude? Is this dude gonna take a step up, step back, stay in neutral? What's his deal?
I mean, I think that ultimately boils down to where his head is at. You know, he's one of them players who also had a lot of chaos and women issues,
women problem,
heavy women issues.
Yeah,
so
baby mama drama,
right? A lot of it. So ultimately, I think it's about him getting his head back in the game and sticking to basketball. Hopefully, you know, both of them are him and Ja Morant. They're both extremely talented young guys. Like, they dealing with some situations, but, you know, they got hopefully a lot more in front of them than behind them. So I think if they come out and hoop and they concentrate on playing basketball for real, like, forget all the stuff outside of the court. Like, you know what you can do with a basketball in your hand. At the end of the day, that's what you were signed for. That's what you were brought to the team for, and that's what they expect out of you. So, I mean, if you put your concentration just on basketball and say, to hell with the rest of this other stuff that's going on, I mean, they hard to guard, bro. I mean, these are guys that just aren't easily stopped. Who do you match up with Zion, being that big, that athletic?
Nobody. When he plays, he's dominant.
When he's playing, he's in there.
He's dominant.
Now, will he stay healthy?
Yeah.
That's the part where I want to see out of Zion. Can he put together a healthy season for all that money he got?
Right.
Forget the baby mama drama. Can you put together a healthy season?
Can you
with
play
your team?
40 games? Can you play 30 games?
He got to play more than that. I need this man to give me 66 games.
Yeah.
I need him to maybe get like 16 off or something like that. Maybe 20 off. I'll live with that. But he needs to put together a full season.
Yeah. Now, we can't leave the West and go to the East without talking about the motherfucking unicorn.
Wembanyama.
The unicorn of the decade, Wemby.
Victor Wembanyama. It seems like everything he do, they get excited. Like, I seen them
7'4", 7'3", 7'4",
8 foot wingspan.
8 foot wingspan.
Crazy.
Wingspan is longer than his body.
This man is dribbling, doing post ups, shooting threes, blocking shots, blocks, getting back on defense. You told me about the clip that you seen where they got the long arms, the practice arms.
The Dallas Mavericks have extended arms on their training staff to help figure out Wembanyama's length to help shoot over him,
and they were still
missing all the shots.
I think he's a generational talent.
Absolutely.
If he stays healthy, they're a playoff team because 100%. Just off of that one guy, like,
unguardable. How do you stop him?
You can't. You can't.
You just get. I think the best way to stop him is just get physical with him.
They're gonna have to. He's gonna get banged up. That's my concern about Wemby.
Yeah.
Is his health. Like, he's very skinny.
Yeah.
All right. He's tall. You can't reach it. Like, you can't reach the ball once he lifts up to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't do anything with that.
Yeah, he blocked Clay's shot the other night preseason. Woo.
And I think it gives him an extreme advantage because he can step back further and still block your shot.
Mm-hmm.
Traditionally, one of my grievances with a lot of NBA teams, they're not closing out on the three on defense, and it pisses me off because it's just not good defense. But they're leaving all that space because they don't want to get blown by. But he's one of those guys. He can leave you space.
Yeah.
And still block your shot with his wingspan.
Like he can stretch his arms out. You can't get around him that easy.
You're not getting around him that easy. And if he lift his hand up, you're not getting over him that easy.
Yeah.
So I think that
a lot of pick and roll.
A lot of pick and roll. Oh my God. But I mean, Wemby special. Great coach, of course, Coach Pop. You combine
18, 20 points a game, 7 rebounds a game.
Honestly, I think he should have more than 18 points a game, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you can damn near come down the court and pass it to him every time. So
he's the most skilled big man I've ever seen.
Yeah. Before coming into a preseason, before we see him against an NBA game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Easily. So Spurs, you gotta factor them in. You also cannot leave out the OKC Thunder. Chet Holmgren was supposed to come in as a rookie last season. He was the front runner for Rookie of the Year, but he went down. I believe it was a Drew League game. I think he was out there playing against Braun and some other guys or something and had an ankle injury or something, or foot injury, out for the season. Unfortunately, did not get to have his rookie campaign last year, but he does get to have it this year. Now, you pairing Chet with the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander that we saw last year.
Yeah.
And that's pretty scary, too, because he's one of those other freakishly tall athletes, a lot of skill, shoot threes.
I would say the Oklahoma City Thunder is one of those teams that they're gonna play you. They're gonna every single night. They're gonna battle you. They're not a pushover.
They like to play fast.
Yeah, they're not a pushover.
They don't like to get pushed over. I think Chet being out there definitely helps them a lot. So, that's another team that you have to consider as far as the playoff.
Definitely not an easy out playing the Thunder.
No, especially with these in-season tournaments and play-in tournaments and stuff like that. Do not count the OKC Thunder out.
For sure. Now, let's take the plane. We up in Portland, and we're going to go all the way over to Milwaukee with Dame.
Speaking of Portland, they got Scoot Henderson. Quietly, Scoot Henderson is probably one of the better rookies to come out of the draft. Him and Brandon Miller. These guys are not getting as much attention because they literally have Wembanyama creating a shadow and towering over
he went to
them.
Portland.
But Scoot is a great guard, so we're not gonna sleep on Scoot. I don't think Portland has enough pieces to really do that much, but they did get Ayton. They do have Scoot. They might present a few matchup problems or surprise a few guys this season. Sort of like a Houston kind of had with some games, but I don't want to dismiss Scoot Henderson before talking about the East. Now, when getting into the East and you talking about
Dame in Milwaukee, what is that going to look like? What kind of problems does that present these teams on the East? What are you seeing with this Dame, Giannis, Middleton combo without Drew Holiday now?
Another good point about Drew Holiday not being there, but Dame is going to give you a lot more scoring. He gives you less on ball defense that you would get out of Drew Holiday. He's one of the better, if not the best, defending point guard in the league. Drew Holiday is. So, but Dame is one of those guys. He's
a competitor.
Steph Curry. He's one of the only guys you can really consider in a conversation with Stephen Curry.
With the shooting.
Dame likes to tell people that Steph is the only person that he'll even allow you to compare him to, for real. So, and it makes sense. He backs it up. So, I mean, another 30-point-a-game scorer. You still got Middleton out there. Let's not forget that. Giannis. So, I think Giannis definitely has some help with the scoring load. Like, when Giannis has been out, sometimes they might struggle to score. But Dame being out there. The floor is
spaced out a little bit more now.
It's a whole lot more spaced out.
Give Giannis some lanes now.
A lot of lanes. I mean, you got two guys you got to double.
Yep.
You can't leave Giannis in the paint single.
No.
And you can't leave Dame floating around the 3-point line without, hedging him, without doing some different things to throw him off. But he can shoot so far back that it forces you to play harder. It's going to tire some teams out.
I think one thing that Dame brings to Milwaukee is closing games.
He's a killer.
Closing games, getting to the free throw line, knocking down those free throws, because we all know they hack Giannis and foul Giannis. Giannis might not hit him, but you got Dame there. He get the ball up, take the ball up. Oh, you fouling Dame? Those free throws going in probably 80% of the time.
I look for them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're gonna see about the finals, but I look for them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals for sure, depending on health. Everything is contingent upon health, but I look for them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Now, I mean, the only team that I can really see going head to head with them in the Eastern Conference Finals is Boston.
Boston, I give Philly some consideration, but Boston. They added Drew Holiday.
And got rid of
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart is in Memphis now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in Memphis now.
Yes, that was another good addition from Memphis as well. Drew Holiday, Derek White, those two guys, I think is good in terms of defense and offense balance. Marcus Smart was a little bit of kind of iffy sometimes, but I seen Drew Holiday step up offensively in some games last season for sure. So if he can kind of,
and in playoff games season prior,
right? So if he can replicate that and continue that energy, I think he's gonna do what he's gonna do on defense.
They still got Brogdon? I'm not sure.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think so. But having him out there playing some more on-ball defense, along with Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Porzingis is there too now.
Porzingis, one of those other
unicorns,
super tall.
He was the unicorn before
Wembanyama. The scary part is Porzingis is also a very skilled big man, but Wemby is more skilled than him. So that's just scary. But I do think that Malcolm Brogdon went to Portland also. That's good for them. But I do think that Porzingis being out there adds another layer, because now you have this super tall guy out here to block some shots. Even if you're not blocking them, you're still changing and altering shots just off of height.
Length, yeah.
So that's great for Boston. Boston and Milwaukee have the line to the Eastern Conference Finals if they, stick to it, stay healthy, compete.
I know you brought up Philly. The only thing about Philly is I don't trust James Harden, bro.
James Harden don't want to be there.
Yeah, I don't trust that.
He's pissed.
Yeah.
He has a terrible relationship with the GM at this point.
Yeah.
I think he's just showing up for his money.
Yeah. I'm just here so I can get paid.
He wants to be out of there. I don't know.
I just don't trust him, man.
I don't know where he could go.
I can't trust a team with chaos, bro. With internal chaos, upset players, stuff like that. I can't bank on that.
No, that makes sense. I mean, you make plenty of sense, and I don't blame you.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think MVP'd. Joel Embiid has MVP season. Some people think it was still Jokic, but hey, he won the award. He was a top tier big man. He was a top tier NBA player all around. He was very dominant. So I mean, with Embiid, regardless of what's going on with Harden, he's still going to dominate games. He's still going to play. He was able to do it when Ben Simmons was there and disappearing. So, I mean, hey.
He just don't have that playoff dominance. We haven't seen that yet.
Not in full, because I think in a playoff game, you're going to need your team.
Mm-hmm.
Regular season, you can skate by and win off of one player.
Yeah.
But when you get in a series, it's hard for one player to just beat a playoff team.
Yeah.
Because the other team is good too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of them have a guy too. So we can't just overlook the fact that he got to go through Giannis. And he has to go through Boston.
Mm-hmm.
We can't overlook that.
What other teams in the East do you see like being somewhat competitive? I know we can talk about the Knicks. Can't sleep over Miami. What are you seeing? Like, because I mean, obviously
Miami won a Dame so bad.
Right? Because obviously it's like the East is pretty much Milwaukee, Boston, Philly. That's what it's looking like. Those look like the dominant teams in the East, more so than the West.
But Miami has a history of beating these teams too.
They do.
So
no matter who's out there,
so we can't just overlook Miami like they aren't in it.
And Miami's been overlooked,
and they picked
2
up
years in a row.
They picked up a very good rookie. Mm-hmm. I like what's my boy name? Is it like Walking or something? But I'm gonna get his name right in a minute. It's kind of funny to pronounce, but I like a rookie they picked up. He has the Miami attitude, like that fight, gritty, kind of balanced player.
I think I know you're talking about.
Yeah, so
yeah, I know you're talking about.
He was a good pickup for them. I like him. Quietly, don't sleep on Brooklyn. Ben Simmons is showing up like he actually want to play. We're gonna see.
We'll see. You gotta see it to believe it with this guy.
We gotta see it to believe it.
He getting some female drama off the court, and he's shutting down.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm not.
Jaime, that's his name. Jaime.
I'm not banking on Ben Simmons.
Yeah. I don't blame you. You shouldn't. But they do have Mikal Bridges, who showed once he left Phoenix, that he can shoulder some scoring loads. Mm-hmm. They did put him in the FIBA, not FIBA, the USA
Olympic
pre-qualifying teams or whatever. Mm-hmm. He was on that too. So, Mikal Bridges, Jordan Poole, the Wizards.
I don't see it.
I heard somebody reference that this is kind of Jordan Poole's opportunity to have a James Harden-like leap when James Harden left OKC and went to Houston. They felt like OKC was kind of dumbing down or taming James Harden, and that's kind of what the Warriors kind of did with Jordan Poole. He did have a lot of those games where he come out and he tried to do something, and then he didn't have no business doing it.
My thing with Jordan Poole is he's just inconsistent.
But I think a lot of that is because he didn't really have the role or the space in a lot of times, so he just kind of went out there and kind of forced it. But it's different
even last season.
But it's different once you create the game plan around this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When the play is designed for you to get the ball versus you just taking the ball in the middle of the play and you doing some weird shit. I think he did that with the Warriors, and it made him look bad sometimes. Sometimes it worked out. Sometimes it was like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
He has an opportunity to team up with Kuzma and, some of these other young guys and take that team and make it his. Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not he does it, that remains to be seen. But he definitely has the opportunity to do so with the Wizards. Because, who else if not him?
Where do you think the Knicks fall in the East as far as the pecking order? So you got – what's your side? Yeah, let's talk. What's your ranking as far as the East goes? How you think these teams going to fall in the East?
I'll say let's go Milwaukee and Boston 1 and 2. That could
1 and 1A.
They 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Then you have your Philly. You have your. Ooh.
That's where it gets a little shaky.
Because you got a lot of middle. You got Miami.
Knicks.
No, I don't have them that high. I think you have to look out for Indiana, the Hawks. We're gonna see how well Brandon Miller plays. He's another high draft pick. Brandon Miller went to Charlotte playing with Lonzo Ball.
Mm-hmm.
That team has a lot of chaos.
They do.
Off the court.
Lonzo can't stay on the court.
LaMelo.
Yeah, Melo.
Lonzo can't stay on the court either.
Both of them.
But LaMelo Ball.
All the Ball brothers, they just said we want to get to the NBA. Get a nice little NBA check. Put our names out there. Do some.
They like the ball, man.
And just sit in LA and kick it.
But Lonzo and LaMelo and sometimes Jello, they all can hoop. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like they can't hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Melo is a special hooper. He can pass. He can shoot. He has kind of an unorthodox form, but it goes in.
Yeah.
He's young. He plays with some flash. I think pairing that.
Points.
Yeah, he get a lot of style points.
Style points.
Pairing him with Brandon Miller, I think will be nice for that team. We're gonna see how well Brandon Miller plays, but he's another guy to watch out for.
You said Brooklyn. You mentioned Brooklyn,
but I think they're one of those like
play-in
8 seed situations. The Hawks probably like
Cleveland?
right above them. Cleveland Cavaliers. Can't forget about Cleveland.
Right.
Cleveland probably is your 5.
5th, yeah, 5 or 6.
Cleveland is probably at 5.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about somebody, and I was like, Cleveland. That's probably your 5. They've been building. This is probably that unit's third full or second full season together.
Yeah,
about 2.5 seasons of that unit being together. So I mean, I think they've had some time to acclimate. Don't be surprised if Donovan Mitchell has multiple 50-point games.
Hey, it's bound to happen. Bet the over.
Yeah. Yeah. Bet
the over every night. And I guarantee at the end of the season, you're going to come out green.
Yeah. So, I mean, Donovan Mitchell, one of those guys. Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers. It's some guys over there in the East that I would say that 6 through 8 is going to be kind of hard to call because Chicago, when they come back healthy, where do they fall? Toronto, where do they fall?
Yeah.
Orlando quietly fights, but I think they're just young. I think they take a step up, but I don't know if they take a step up to being a playoff team this season.
Not a step up, but not in.
Yeah. So we're going to see.
Yeah.
We're going to see. It's kind of hard for me to call that 5 through 8.
Yeah. I forgot to talk about the Clippers in the West. What do you see with the Clippers in the West? Because
the Clippers in Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota too. Forgot about Minnesota.
Minnesota was a playoff team.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, forgot about them. The Clippers and the Timberwolves. What do you see out of those teams? Like I said, the West is loaded.
They are. They are. I'm excited to see them actually play.
That's the problem.
As a full team.
Stay on the court.
As a full team. They rested guys. Guys were hurt.
They never
some
played
guys
together.
Didn't show up that day. We don't know where they was at. Somebody called out. I don't know. So I'm interested to see them as a team just playing. They were supposed to be really deep last season, and we didn't quite see it manifest the way it needed to be. Kawhi's still Kawhi, but I mean, people holler about Kawhi being the MVP candidate and all these different things sometimes.
He don't even play. He don't play enough games.
He don't play enough games.
He don't play enough games.
He don't play enough games to qualify.
He don't care about that. I don't know what he care about.
He don't care about that.
I don't know what that man cares about.
He like to win sometimes. But, I mean, is he going to stay out there and play? I don't know. So,
the crazy thing is, Bron out here, 40 years old, playing ball, and these young bucks can barely play a whole season. It don't make any sense.
LeBron is somebody who will go out and spend $1 million on his health too, though. So
these dudes got $100 million deals too now.
Yeah, they do.
They can cough up $1 million.
They can cough up $1 million. They can.
They just don't care about it.
Yeah, I mean, Bron takes care of himself extremely well. So I mean, you know, I suggest a lot of these guys take notes.
Yeah, Kawhi just want to get high. You know he be smoking that tree.
I'm not putting that on him. Don't test him,
bro. You ain't see the clip with him and what's his name in the back of the car rolling up?
Nah.
When they won the championship in Toronto,
they was rolling up.
Yeah, rolling up. Come on, man.
So you
run the clip.
So chill.
Run the clip.
I'll try to find a clip and run it if I can. Not the line.
Nah, so let's go ahead and wrap this thing up real quick, man. So now, who do you see as far as let's talk about some futures, individual awards. Who do you see being like going the MVP of the league?
I think Giannis tries to make a push to be MVP again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's seen Joel Embiid.
He's pissed off that he got knocked out real early.
Yeah, he is. I think he's seen Embiid.
He got what he wanted.
Seen Jokic.
He got a contract. He got Dame.
Got everything he wanted.
Highly motivated.
Milwaukee loves them some Giannis.
Yeah,
they go pick up his brothers. They'll go do whatever they got to do to make sure Giannis is happy.
I want my brother.
And they'll go get him.
Even if he doesn't
if he
play.
wants his mother on the team, they'll go get her.
He can be cheerleader.
So, hey, I think they do what they do. And I think this is a season for him where he's like, all right, Giannis, you got to prove it. You got one ring so far, but, you know, how good are you?
Yeah, I like that play. I like Giannis as an MVP favorite. I can see that happening. He's dominant.
Of course, next to hot take, Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, Wemby.
Yeah. As long as he stay healthy.
Yeah.
As long as he don't have no foot injury or some weird like that.
Here's the thing.
Them big feet take a long time to heal. You remember
Giannis came in skinny and frail too, though.
He did, but he bulked up.
I think most of these players, they all come in. Bron came in skinny.
Bron wasn't that skinny, though.
Bron was kind of skinny when he came in,
that
bro.
Skinny,
he ain't what he is now.
No, he's not. But
most of these players do come in kind of skinny and frail, bro. And
Bron wasn't that skinny,
they bulk up. So I think Wemby probably bulk up a little bit. I think him and his camp knows that he need to bulk up.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard, though. I mean, he's tall, bro.
Yeah.
He's just...
His bones ain't going to be able to carry that.
Yeah, the boy got
a
Kevin Durant frame, just stretched out a little bit more. Like the boy tall, man. Yeah. So it's hard. I mean, Kevin Durant has gotten by with being
he has
twiggy.
Yeah, he has. He has. He ain't bulk up really.
He ain't bulk up shit. He's put together. He put together a solid career, even though he's had some injury issues over the past few seasons. So
yeah,
you know, I think he can. I think he can still suffice, especially in the league. A lot of these guys are skinny and just athletic, bro. Mm-hmm. And that's just kind of the way the league transition. These guys are not bodybuilders at all,
and they're not physical like they used to be.
No. Also,
the league don't want that. The league wants to see these players play. They want scoring. They want dunks. They want threes.
Yeah, they want the highlight reel, man. I also quietly like Wembanyama for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
The 3 blocks a game thing is not out of the question in every game, or more. Just because the length, like you don't play against somebody with that skill set every night. You know, the only other guy that you get in that you may be comparable to is Porzingis in terms of height and length with trying to play defense, but he's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate as far as I'm concerned, just off of the blocks and rebounds.
As long as he stays healthy.
As long as he stays healthy. That's the $1 million question. If he's not healthy, it's Scoot Henderson for Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. that one could go a lot of ways. You know, I think Jaren Jackson is the front runner right now, but because he plays good defense, he does. But he just doesn't have abnormal height and shot blocking ability like Wembanyama has. Anthony Davis is in that conversation too.
Yeah, if he plays.
Also contingent upon health.
Contingent upon if he's going to give us consistent nights.
Yeah. Anthony Davis on back-to-backs is sometimes shaky. But I hope the last season woke the Lakers up to show them, like, hey, bro, you can't just be taking half of the season off.
If AD drops 35 one night, take the under the next night.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
So who we got to win it all? NBA champion. Coming out the East, coming out the West, who you got?
So tough.
Let's do it East-West finals and then a champion. Who's coming out the East? Who's coming out the West? And who's the NBA champion?
You got your Eastern Conference with Milwaukee and Boston. I see them in the Eastern Conference finals. I think Milwaukee can find a way to pull it off.
Yep.
And get Dame to his first
NBA
finals. That would be beautiful. The West. I just feel like I don't know if something's just going to go awry with the Suns or something. I don't know. At some point. Maybe in the playoffs. I don't know. I just don't feel like I trust them that much. I do like the fact that they got Nurkic. He plays better defense and rebounds.
He's a good big. He's more active. Yeah, absolutely.
Ayton sometimes he would piss me off with he's timid with the rebounds. Bro, you huge, bro. Just grab the rebound, bro. What you doing?
So who you got in the Western Conference Finals then? Phoenix and
I don't know about Phoenix, man.
You think they'll be gone before that?
I think Phoenix might have to run against Denver or something like that, and it might cause a problem.
Think they're gonna be that low?
Yeah. They might be 3-4 somewhere in there, and they're gonna have to come across them in like a semifinal or something. They're gonna have to come across somebody they don't want to see in a semifinal. And that's when it gets shaky. They might be able to beat the Lakers.
Okay, so you like Denver then?
I like Denver in there, and it might be a rematch, bro. It might be Denver and the Lakers again in the Western Conference Finals.
Really?
And hopefully Bron's pissed off enough to go back to the finals.
That would be amazing. I would love to see Lakers and Milwaukee in the finals.
I would like to see them two in the finals. But I think Giannis and Dame healthy.
This is Bron's last year. I think this is Bron's last year to make a push, like a strong push.
For a finals?
For a chip. I think it is, bro. Because his minutes are diminishing year by year.
Well, not really.
The amount of minutes he's playing?
He
don't play that many minutes like he used to. It's going down now.
But when it comes time for him to play, they will run his ass the whole game.
Yeah, he gets burnt out and can't do it by himself because AD. So I blame AD.
He still had. Look at how many minutes he played in the Western Conference
I really
Final.
do blame AD for the Lakers' shortcomings last season.
I can see that
in the finals, 100%.
I can see that.
100%.
He wasn't consistent.
100%.
He just wasn't consistent. If you get a consistent Anthony Davis,
and you got to be consistent in the playoffs.
Yeah, you get a consistent Anthony Davis. Hey man, Lakers are scary.
Well, if you won't say it, I'll say it. Lakers, Milwaukee, and I'm taking Milwaukee to win it.
Milwaukee to win it?
Milwaukee to win the chip.
Milwaukee to win it. I can't go against Bron, man.
I can't either. I'm a fan. It's been a while.
I'm a fan.
It's been a while. I mean, you know,
that's more of a biased pick, but I think Milwaukee definitely has a shot to win that title.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Milwaukee, man.
Milwaukee
I'm gonna say Milwaukee. A motivated Giannis, motivated Dame. I think it's gonna work out. Those two pieces, they fit.
Yeah.
They fit. So
it's their time.
Yeah, it fits.
It should be Milwaukee's time. I'll say that Milwaukee should win the championship.
Yeah, I'm going Milwaukee, man.
But we're going to see, though.
Yeah,
we're going to see. I can't count Bron out.
Yeah. But, yeah, man, we'll wrap this thing up. Hey, good talk. NBA season kicks off.
Been waiting on
Wednesday. No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. So, listen, man. Make sure you like, you comment, and subscribe.
Got to, man.
That was some good NBA talk right there, man. We talked about the East, talked about the West, talked about players, futures. We talked about the whole nine. Comment your thoughts below. Let us know what you think, man.
Look for Wemby props with your blocks. Look for Dame props with points. Look for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Look for Chet Holmgren.
Chet.
Yeah. It's some guys you can look out for and make some bread on some props. So the props are gonna be popping. I say give it a little bit of time before you go heavy. Yeah. Always wager responsibly. Give it a little bit of time to see how these guys playing. We got extra games. We got in-season tournaments. There's a lot going on. You know, some of these teams got to establish a new identity and establish some chemistry to play together. I look at the Suns as kind of one of those teams, but once they get going and once you feel comfortable, you know, I kind of ease into it. You know, we still heavy on football over here, but we're going to kind of ease into it a little bit. I'm going to work my way up.
Yeah.
And we're going to tap in with y'all periodically, you know.
It's a good time, man. It's a good time. We appreciate you guys for watching. Until next time, I'm Ty the Jet. It's my guy.
Rip 16, the GOAT.
And this is No Hedging Podcast. And we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
We out. Wimby.